how to read gauge in stockinette stitch. Basically, how many stitches per inch are you getting? So let's start by looking at our stitches and recognizing what a stitch looks like. So we'll start here, right, not on this edge. We'll start right here. We'll go one. So see, here's our right edge, left edge. It's these little V's. Okay, each of these is a stitch. Sorry. Okay, so now that we see what our stitches are, I'm going to take my gauge reader. Now you can do this with a tape measure. I prefer these because this takes it over 2 inches and it kind of just blocks out all the excess and lets me just read what's in the window, which for my eyes is very helpful. Okay, I'm going to line this right up on the edge, outer edge of a stitch. Check that out. Okay, and here it is on the outer edge, and then I'm going to count my V's. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So it looks like I have 3 stitches in an inch, but I like to take it over 2 inches and then divide it. It's more accurate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a half. Okay, you want to take your gauge over a few parts of your gauge swatch. Now your gauge swatch needs to be much bigger than mine. It needs to be at least 4 inches long for a garment. Okay, mine is small just for the purpose of showing you how to read it. The reason you want to take it over a couple of spots is because your tension changes from the beginning of your swatch to the end of it. So we want it to be consistent. So again, I'll take it down here and I will line it up on the edge of a stitch again and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a half. So that's 3.25 stitches per inch. Okay, that's what I'm getting. You can also, like, darker yarn is really hard to read. I have a really hard time with that, depending on how good your eyes are. I'm going to line this up, and you can also go, just put your pen or whatever in the middle of your stitch. Whatever is helpful for you, do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a half still. Okay? Also, they often want to know how many rows you're getting per inch. Now, again, I don't even have 2 inches here to be able to divide it. But again, yours need to be at least 4 inches long, okay, to get an accurate reading. I'm going to line this up, the bottom of my stitch, right there, and I'm just going to count my stitches. From the bottom to the point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it could be more than that. I'm not able to divide it by 2 because I don't have enough. So that's why you definitely want to make more than what I've made here. So we'll put this at the bottom of the stitch. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And that's how you read your gauge. Now, after you get gauge, you always want to wash your swatch because your fabric might grow. You don't know if it does or not until you've washed it. And the last thing you want to do is waste a bunch of time and money knitting something that fits you great, and then you wash it and it's ruined. Washing it meaning however it needs to be washed. Most yarn is not machine washable, and you're going to soak it. So you're going to take your swatch, you're going to soak it for about 20 minutes in water, then you're going to squeeze it out. You can either lay it flat to dry. A lot of people like to hang it off with a clothespin or something to hang it, because that's a little bit more accurate, because it hangs from your body when you're wearing it. So that'll give you a really good idea of what it's going to be like. Okay? And that is how you take a gauge swatch.